Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just going to make this bigger. There we go. So good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully we are broadcasting live on the Sentimentally Facebook page and also on my Phill Martin page. So I'll give you all a minute to get logged in. I'll turn these subtitles off. I don't know why they come on every time, but they do. There we go, that should be it. So I'll let you all get logged in first before we get started. Hi Lona. Let's take this off. I'm assuming that I'm live. My screen's got all sorts of things just popped up on it. Here we go, everybody started to come in now. Hi Bev, hi Julie, hi Sue. I'm not going to say hi to everybody because I'll lose my voice halfway through. I'll just let you all get logged in before we start. Here we go. Hi Angie, hi Anne. Right, so there's quite a bit to do for this Facebook Live, and on my last show a couple of weeks ago, I started, rather foolishly expected that I would be able to finish a canvas board in a 1 hour show, which I should have known better. I should have known, I will Bev, yes. I should have known that this wouldn't happen in a 1 hour show, but there you go. So let's get cracking. So what we're going to do, hi Julia. So what we're going to do today is finish this canvas board that I started a few weeks ago. So there's lots of bits and bobs still to do. I'm just going to leave that there for a second so you can see the rough layout. So I've given myself a little, I've done this, none of this is stuck. The only thing, if you remember, that I got done was the texture paste in the background, and I'll show you that again in a second just to remind you what I did. So there's quite a bit to do to this, and that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to quickly run through, like I do normally, how everything that I'm going to be using. I'll just do a quick reminder to everybody, although I've just posted this on Facebook. If you are watching on the Phill Martin page, I won't be able to see the comments. So what I always tell people to do is to log out from there, go to the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page and watch from there, because then I can see your comments. I'm not sure why it doesn't let you see comments from two pages, but it doesn't. So let's just a quick reminder of what we're going to do, just in case I've not said it enough. So good afternoon to everybody I've not spoken to already, and that's what we're going to be doing. So if I'd have done my hair, I would have let you see me, but I haven't. And I've been twirling it, so I've got twirly bits everywhere, so I'm not showing you. Hi Isabel. So I know where Isabel's going, or where Isabel wants to go. So right, let's get cracking. I'm going to go through quickly what I've already got prepared and what I've used. Now some of the products that I'm going to show you have sold out already, so you might not be able to get them, but as ever, everything that is in stock will be on the I know what you're laughing at, Julia. Whatever is in stock will be available on my website, honeypotcrafts.co.uk, and if it isn't on my website, try Julia's, Julia Watts Crafts, because you might get it from Julia. So sometimes what I haven't got, Julia's got some left, and vice versa, so it's always worth checking. So I'm just going to bring this in and let you have a quick look before I knock everything off it. So if you remember, if you did catch the show on Create and Craft, you would have seen me do this before the time ran out. So this is actually just the new texture medium mixed with some of the metallic paint. And because it dries transparent and glossy, you still get that beautiful pearly finish. And I just popped some, I can't remember, rainbow crystals glitter over the top. So we're doing bright colours. I love pink and orange together anyway. I always think it looks really fresh and bright. And sometimes it's nice to get out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to show you these, again, these texture dyes. I'm not sure what's left in stock, But the two that I'm using today, I've got two on my magnetic sheet here. You will only get the one on an A6 magnetic sheet. This is just making it easier for me to store them. So you've got here the grid, which I am going to be using today, and you've also got mesh. And I forgot that I'd got these, so I'm just going to quickly show you what these look like when they're cut out, because it's really difficult on the pictures to see what these are going to look like once you've die cut them. So I forgot I've got these, so I'm just going to show you what they look like. So that is what the grid looks like. And you know what, they cut like a dream. They cut beautifully. It's a bit of a pain brushing all the bits out, but once you've done, you've got this beautiful die cut left over. So that's the grid, and then you've got here the mesh. So these are obviously going to be amazing. I'm just turn that light around. There you go. These are obviously going to be amazing with any of your projects, whether it's a mixed media canvas or whether it's your cardstocks or anything like that. And these were designed really so that you can tear them. I'm not going to do it to this because I'm going to save it to stick on a board. So that is the mesh. So that is grid and mesh. I'm going to put that to one side. Then we've got the wire and the Moroccan. So you've got Moroccan and wire. And again, I've got these already cut out to show you what they look like. So this is Moroccan, and you can see how delicate that is. Oh, that's fab, Julia, well done. So that's the Moroccan, which is really, really intricate, and the shape is beautiful. And you can see that that's going to lend itself to, lots of different designs. It doesn't matter what your style is. So that is Moroccan, and this is wire. And I am using wire today as well. So I'm using a combination of wire and grid today. So, let's pop that to one side. I am also going to be using my favourite new set of dies, which is the Lots of Cogs. And I have got them all in here, but I'm not going to get them all. I better move that because that one's not been released yet. Just in case any eagle-eyed people spot that, I better make sure there's no others. Oh, there is. Oh, hang on, everybody. I should have checked this. There are some in here that have not been released yet. That'll teach me. Let me just move them. Sorry, everybody. I don't want to torment you. I think that's it. Oh, no, one more. There we go. I think we're safe now. I think we're safe. Right, so I'll bring that back in. Oh dear. Right, so I'm not going to show you all these cogs. All I'm going to say to you is if you haven't got the Lots of Cogs set yet, it's an absolute must-have, because there are 23 different dies on there. Cogs, whether you use them pretty, whether you use them... I'm not Bev, no. Jennifer. I know, I'm sorry everybody. I should have moved it. Yeah, so whether your style is pretty, whether you like grungy, whether you like steampunk, mixed media, whatever, masculine cards, you know that these dies are going to be used so often, and I can't tell you how much I love them. So I'm not going to get them all out. All you need to know is that there are 23 different cogs in there, ranging from the large one right down to the teeny tiny ones that we tend to use a lot. And not all of them, but some of them do have my deboss detailing in them, which I just think is fabulous. It just gives them another layer of texture, another little bit of dimension without actually doing anything. So that is the cogs, Lots of Cogs, which I am using today. And then the other new one that I'm using today is the Locks and Keys, which absolutely goes hand in hand. It's a fabulous collection of dies, these two, because you can just... I know, sorry Jane. Hi Alice. Rose, if you're watching, happy birthday. If you're not watching, where are you? So Lots of Cogs, and then Locks and Keys, bit of a mouthful. But the Locks and Keys have 16 dies in, and they're just beautiful. I mean, you've got keys, you've got large keys, you've got small keys, you've got left-facing keys, right-facing keys, and then you've also got the locks. And I'm using a combination of keys and locks and cogs today. So I'm going to move that now. so I don't slip up again. Incidentally, just in case you're wondering, these have all been cut from my premium white cardstock, which is the 200 and the pure white, the 270 GSM, and look how well it cuts. Even the really intricate wire, look how fab that is. Fabulous. So move them, put the others in where they belong, and put that out of the way so Bev can't see it. And I'll put these out of the way. So the stencil that I've actually used on here, so if you remember a couple of weeks ago I released 6 new 6x6 stencils. I'm not telling you, Jennifer, you'll have to wait. Well belong, Sylvia. So I released 6 new 6x6 stencils, and I'm going to put them into the groups again, just to show you. So when I was designing the dies, I thought how fab it would be to also have a stencil that would correlate with it. So you can do your background techniques and your inky techniques with the actual stencil. So we've got the grid locked. We've also got the wire. This is obviously bigger than the die. We've also got the mesh, which I love this. Love the mesh stencil. We've then got the roses, the rose blooms. We've then got this one which has got 4 different designs that all correlate with the tray sheet collection. But clearly you can see how these are going to work on their own as well, just for adding texture to any areas you like. And then we've got the leafy cascade, which clearly is the one that I used on TV because it's still got paste on it. And this is the one that I've used here, look in the background. Hi Anne. Yeah, you will see me on Wednesday. We've got a fabulous project lined up for Wednesday. And then last but not least, you can see I've got some of the greyboard embellishments. So most of you will already have these because they're from the compendium last year. So these are the flourishes and swirls, and then these are the butterflies. So I'm using them as well today. Right, let's get cracking. Oh, so the 2 ink pads that I used are carved pumpkin and picked raspberry. You'll notice my sleeves are up because it's going to get inky. Yeah. And I'm also going to be using the embossing powders, Mandarin Burst and Fabulous Fuchsia. Mandarin Burst and Fabulous Fuchsia, the colours are amazing, look. And they go really well with the paints that we're using today. We will be using my new white gesso and the new texture medium. I'm also going to be using, let me put the lid on and show you. The metallic acrylic paints, we're going to be using those. And I'm just going to get the ones out that I need, which are the hot pink and the summer poppy. Is that the right one? Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Burnt orange. So I'm using hot pink and burnt orange paints. I'm not actually using the oh, I might do. So I'll get them out just in case. So I might use the Radiant Luster powders. I have already done most of this, but I'll get them just in case. And the 2 colours I'm using today are Orchid Whisper and African Sunset. So on the website you can buy the paints and the powders individually, or you can buy them in the sets just so that you've got everything that you're likely to need. So you can see the theme going on here. The pearls I'm using, in case anybody's wondering, are Cotton Candy. And Cotton Candy are the ones that have the pink and orange ombre effect. So they're perfect with this canvas. So a little reminder, everybody, if you are watching on the Phill Martin page, I can't see your comments. So you do need to go and watch from the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. And everybody, please remember to share the live so everybody gets to see it. So like and share the live for me, please. Right, so this is what I'm going to do to this canvas board. I'm going to knock everything off it. Everything's going to the side. And we'll do a little recap. Oh, If Val and Sandy are watching, by the way, thank you. So Val and Sandy came to a workshop with me a few weeks ago and brought me a thermal mug because my coffee always goes cold every week. So this time I've got no excuse for it going cold. In fact, it's too hot, so I'm going to leave it open. Right, so quick recap. So this is the Leafy Cascade with the texture medium mixed in with a bit of the paint and just slapped on each corner. I've got the lots of cogs stamped with the 2 Distress Oxides. It's just stamped in the middle just for a little bit of background texture. And that's as far as I got. So let's get cracking. So kitchen roll is coming out. I should really have had a black desk so you can't see all the mess that I make. But no, I've got a white desk. As you do. Here we go. So what we're going to do first is we're going to create another bit of interest in the 2 corners that haven't got anything on. So we're going to take the grid stencil. I might actually use no, I'm not. I'm going to use the stencil. Do it properly, Phill. So we're going to use the grid stencil, but this time instead of using texture paste, I'm going to use the paints and I'm going to stipple them through. So I just want a little bit of a contrasting texture, just to fill in a little bit. I'm not going to fill the whole area, but I'm just going to literally fill in a little bit of the corners. And I'm going to stipple these through. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I love the Finnabair brushes, the stencil brushes. But I'm not very good at cleaning these brushes, so I'm not going to use my posh ones. I'm going to use one of these little ones that's been hammered and battered. So I'm just going to stipple this through, and I'm going to do the 2 colours, and I am just going to use the paint that's in the lid. So remember, these paints are the metallic ones, and I'm using hot pink, and I'm using burnt orange. If I put them there. So there's clearly a colour theme going on there. So I'm just going to position the stencil. I'm just going to do this haphazard, random. Doesn't need to be straight, doesn't need to be perfect. It's just for a little bit of background texture. Oh, hi Rose. I did say happy birthday to you, darling. Rose are you 84 today, Rose? Oh, so I can't, I'll catch up with the comments in a bit. I can't keep up with them. You've got a black desk. Well, it was. Now it's gold silver. Ah, good idea, Bev. Right, so I'm literally just going to stipple from this, and I don't want this solid. I just want a little bit of texture going through there. So hopefully what we will get, because I'm using the paint direct, it will be a little bit stronger in colour than when it's diluted with the texture medium. So I'm not going everywhere, and I'm going to be really naughty because I am going to use the same brush in the orange paint, and that's why I said I'm using one of my older battered brushes, because it doesn't matter to me whether it's a bit filthy afterwards. Words you never thought you'd hear me say, eh? So again with the orange, and I'm not filling everything in. I'm just literally adding a little bit of texture to this corner. Oh, fabulous. So remember to overlap a little bit, because it does give you a nice effect. And these paints do dry quite quickly. Remember as well, because I know you'll be thinking why we're about his stencil, they will wash off this because they are water based. It's just a couple of random ones there. See if I've got enough. Oh, I think that's absolutely marvellous. So that'll do for there. And then I'm just going to repeat this in the bottom corner. Oh, everybody's saying happy birthday to you, Rose. So I'm just going to repeat that in this corner. I don't know whether you noticed, but when I was lining this up, I've used the solid part of the stencil. So the solid line I've used on the edge, and that just gives me the same distance on each side. So let's get some of this paint through. Oops. Hopefully we'll get this finished today. Well, we will, because I'm not going anywhere till it's done. In fact, you know what? I'm going to give this canvas away, because I've not been very good, even with Chris's reminders. I've been rubbish at choosing winners for the Facebook demos. So I am going to give this one away. So I will choose from the comments from this Facebook Live, and I'll wait until maybe Monday, until more people have had a chance to see the video and comment. I'm aware that Ali Pali is on this weekend, and we should have been there, but we're not, because I couldn't when I originally got the dates. But we will be at Ali Pali next time. So literally just stippling through. I'm just going to do one up here. Fabulous. So a little tip for you, because obviously I'm not going to run and put that in the... I'm not going to run and put that in a bowl. I'm never as organised as Julia. So I'm just going to mist that with water, so that it doesn't set really, and then I'll pop it to one side out of the way. Just makes it easier to clean later. I better not put that on my duck egg blue rug, had I? So now if we look, hopefully you can see as that paint is drying, there you go, it's drying pearlescent as well. It's drying with the metallic sheen. So we've got loads and loads of texture going on in the background there. I'm just going to put the lids on these. And I'm going to be using the paint that's left on here now. So I'm going to take off all the excess so it's effectively almost dry. And I am just going to brush around the edge. I would normally leave that to dry a little bit longer, but I haven't got time. So I'm just going to brush around the edges. Doesn't matter about the colour. I'm just taking the whiteness off the edge. Same as we do with inks when we're matting and layering. And I'll just work my way around. That paint on the top section has dried already. It's one of those things, I don't know whether you've ever watched, like when Leonie's doing stuff like this and she says things like, trust the process. So you get to the stage where you think, oh my god, that looks a mess, and she says trust the process. So that's where we're at. I'm going to chuck that in the pot of water. So that paint now has already dried. I don't know whether you can see, this is already dry, and that's almost dry. Oh, I could give this to Rose for her birthday. In fact, I could do that. Yeah, let's do that. So this is for your birthday, Rose. So I'm just going to pop this to one side now and just let everything settle. And we're going to come to all the... We'll come to all the other bits. Hopefully you like hot pink and bright orange, Rose. I'm sure you do. So we're going to come to the grey board next, because there are a couple of different things I want to do with the grey board. So you have seen me before where we've gessoed the grey board, and we have embossed on top of it. But I'm going to show you a slightly different technique today, which is something fabulous to do. So we're going to use the texture medium. We're going to use the texture medium, and we're also going to use the paints again. And what we're going to do is we're going to give these an undercoat of paint. So I'll do a couple in pink and a couple in orange, and then we're going to create a textured finish on top of these. Yeah, that's fab. Yeah, Rose has got this. I'm sure Rose is 84 or 85 today. Did Rose answer us? 49 days till the show at Harrogate. Yep, we will be in Harrogate. We will be in Harrogate. Please remember, everybody, keep liking and sharing the live for me. Hi, Doreen, not a problem. Right, so let's get this show on the road. So what I'm going to do, just so you know, I'm looking at which is the least dominant colour on this canvas board, and the least dominant colour on here that I can see is actually the pink. So I'm going to do the flourishes in pink, and I'm going to do the big butterfly in pink and the two smaller butterflies in orange. So I'm going to give these a base coat. I'm going to take that paint from the lid because I've got little bits of orange. So the big butterfly in pink, and I'm just going to paint this straight on. So I'm just going to show you this because this is how good these paints are. I'm just going to show you that. That's one coat of paint on bare greyboard. How fabulous is that? So let's get this done. And this is literally just an undercoat, so it doesn't have to be perfect, because we are going to create some dimension and some texture to this with the medium. But I wanted to give it the pink undercoat first. So Julia, you were absolutely right, darling. You know when you said, when I asked you if I'd get this done on air, and you said no. Well, you were right. Oh, I'll catch up with you, Rose, darling, don't worry. I'm joking. That's what I get for laughing at Julia being right. So I'm just going to quickly go over this. I love the fact that you only need one coat on bare greyboard. It's amazing. Usually you would have to prime, and you would have to maybe prime a second time. But because these paints are metallic, the coverage is amazing. So just a reminder, because Bev has started everybody following me on YouTube. So if you want to find me and follow me on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. You find Julia there as well. It's actually, you need to just search for the same name as our Facebook group, which is Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. Look at that. Now that's, for somebody who's crafted a long time like me, that's really impressive. And I think, Julia, did you say something about you have to like or comment on some of the videos, otherwise YouTube thinks you're a spammer or something? So just remember, everybody, just to watch some of the videos, or even if it's just for 10 minutes, and then leave a comment or like the video or whatever it is you do. I am consciously going to be doing some new videos for the YouTube channel, because, I mean, obviously I've spoken to Julia about this because well, I'm trying to think of why I can say because I want to do different ones to what I do on the Facebook Live. We'll go with that. So I've got both of my flourishes in pink. I'm now going to get another brush, which I thought I'd got here. When I find it. And I'm going to do the two smaller ones in orange. I have got two YouTube channels, but the one that's got loads of followers on, I can't actually access it. So this is how bizarre it is. And I have emailed YouTube a few times and had no reply. The email address that I used for my original YouTube channel is, I can't access it anymore. So I can't change the password or anything. Which is a bit frustrating when I spent time and money for the videos for that channel. So just use the new one now, because I've written the password down and I've still got the same email address. Ilona, what did you... I just saw Ilona's name flick up the screen, but I've lost the post. So I'm just giving these one base coat. You would obviously take a little bit more time when you're doing this. But now I know it's for Rosa's birthday, I've got to do a good job. What's that? Look how little this paint you use. I actually have way too much on there. Right, so pop that in a bowl of water. In fact, we'll do the orange ones first. So what we're going to do now, let me just show you that beautiful burnt orange colour. Oh, I love that colour. Love that colour. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some texture to this. And please don't do what I did when I was on my show a few weeks ago. Ilona's asking if you're going to be doing YouTube lives. So once you get to 1,000 followers on YouTube, you can do the lives. I don't think you can do lives on YouTube until you've got to 1,000 followers, which is sad because on my other one I've got over 1,500. So remember to follow me and Julia on YouTube, because both of us will be doing some specific YouTube lives. Yeah, you can add glitter to them, Chrissy, if you want to. So don't do this, everybody. So don't dip your dirty spatula in your texture medium. Otherwise it'll get torn, it'll get tainted. But it doesn't matter for this because I'm using the same colours. So what I'm doing really is I'm just going to create a little bit of that's maybe too much. So I've got a little bit of the texture medium on my spatula. I'm going to put a little bit of the paint in. So I popped a tiny bit of the paint in. So this is orange on orange. So the difference, what we're going to get from this when it's dried, hopefully it will be dried by the time we get to the end and start assembling everything. So I'm just going to bring that in so you can see what I was doing, because you can normally see the mat. Yeah, so that's the little bit that I've got there. Yeah. I know, Denise, I should be ashamed, but luckily for me, I've got about 12 pots of the texture medium. Oh dear. That's what happens when you're rushing. So basically what we're going to do is we've got the base coat of the burnt orange on here, and I'm showing you this because it's a really good technique for creating glossy embellishments with texture. So we're going to take some of this and we're just going to literally slap this on. So I'm looking for peaks and troughs and texture with this. I'll try and make it a little bit thinner than I would do normally. Normally I would have that quite thick, but if I just show you that, you can see that we've got the paste there, and we've also got the tint of orange from the paint, from the burnt orange paint. I'm going to do the same with the other one, and hopefully I've got enough paste and I wasn't too tight. And what we will end up with is a beautiful, beautiful, glossy, burnt orange textured butterfly. And it looks amazing. It's a quick technique, but it looks fabulous. You can do this with any grey board. You can do it with your die cuts. So that's going to have to do because I've run out of paste. So that's all I've done, look. And I'm just going to do the same with the pink one. But I am going to clean the spatula this time. I was paying attention, Jennifer, but I know I was trying to be quick. I was determined to get this canvas done on the show, on the live show on TV, but I should have known it was never going to happen. And I'd already done quite a bit of prep. But there you go. So now we're going to do the same thing with the pink. Remember as well, when you put the lid on your paints, to make sure you hear it click. So I'm just going to take a bit out. It won't actually matter. So if you were just putting this on and leaving it clear, you would obviously get a teeny tiny tint of the pink, or it's nominal really, you probably won't notice. But remember, you can change the colour of this with all the other products as well. So you can use the Radiant Luster powders to change the colour. You can use the paints to change the colour. You can even use your ink misters or anything like that. So I'm going to do the same with the pink. I'll put a little bit more pink in this because I want it to be a bit stronger. So listen for the... And then you know it's airtight. So just mix it in. It's always a little bit of a mind teaser when you're using texture medium because it's white and it looks like it's chalky when you put it on, but you have to remember it dries clear and it dries glossy. So I've made too much from here, made far too much. Oh, that's fab. Thank you, Jill. So I've got the pink here, and remember it looks luminous, but it won't be once it's dried. This is a bigger area, so I'm going to be a little bit thinner with it. It does dry relatively quickly, but I would leave this overnight normally. So I'm just stippling really, and it's better to do this with your spatula than it is with a brush because of the peaks and troughs. We'll get better texture from there. And then I can't see any of your comments. Oh, I can see Julia. That's it. Oh, bless you. Thanks, Julia. You will get live videos from both Julia and myself as soon as we get to 1,000 each. We will be doing some live videos, and also they don't know it yet, but my design team are going to be doing some on YouTube as well. So Helen, if you're watching, that's you told. Ilona, I know you're watching. Trudy will be doing some as well. So it's just easier for me to let everybody access the YouTube channel. So I'm doing the same with this. I'm trying not to make it too deep. And the same with that. If you don't want the glossy texture, just leave it as paint. But I really like the glossy texture that you get from this. So it's something different to do with your texture medium. And I will put them to one side. And in actual fact, I'm just going to show you before I move on. Remember everybody, if you're watching on the Phill Martin page, I can't see your comments. So please go to the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page and watch from there. and then I will be able to see your comments. So I'm just going to show you this. The orange one has already started to dry around the edges, look. I would normally, like I say, leave this longer. So this bit of paste that I've got left over, I'm not going to waste this. In fact, let's put it on the orange. Let's put it on the orange. This is the stitch torn rectangles. I think they've sold out. The squares have definitely gone. The elegance borders have all but gone. So most of the new dies that I released a couple of weeks ago have gone. So now I am going to use the die cut of the grid die. Which bit do I need? Yeah, and I'm going to use this bit of paste that's left over just to put a bit more texture on here rather than waste it. And then, oh, come on Phil, see if you can get a bit more out of that. And then that bit, look, the waste, and you know I never use the waste, I just don't, it's not my thing. But when that dries, that will be a glossy pearlescent pink. So we'll pop that to one side. I love products that do more than one thing, you all know that. And you can do so much with these. We've not even painted with them or anything yet. We've literally just used them as they are. So I'll just show you that. So we've now added, rather than waste the paste, we've just added a little bit more texture. So, change the kitchen roll. I'll turn that one over. I'll save that one. In fact, let me put these on here. And I'll put them out of the way before I stick my finger in them. I'm just going to move these, bear with me a second. And we're on to the next bit. It's all about doing a bit at a time. Right, so we're on the next bit now. So I did actually get these done on the live show, but they're not quite finished yet. So these are the cogs and the locks and keys and the locks. Oh, and that's hilarious. So these I did do on the show, so I'll just give you a little recap of what I actually did to get this lovely texture. Just make sure I've got them all. I have. So if I just show you what I did here, if I bring that in close, hopefully you'll be able to see. So if I just, let me swap hands. If I bring these in close and just wiggle them, you should hopefully be able to see that we've got a glossy sheen. Where are we? I'm trying to get the glossy sheen to show you. Sort of, you can sort of see it. So this is a combination of the texture medium. So the texture medium stippled on, and then the radiant luster powders just dusted over the top. And what you end up with is this beautiful, beautiful, crunchy looking texture. But we've still got that sheen from the clear texture medium. And again, it's one of those things that you can just put your texture medium on, use your bits of powders, use your spare bits of paste and everything that are left over, and nothing gets wasted. And whatever your colour scheme is, so even if you're working on a pastel colour, for example, like the challenge this year, it will still look amazing. I'm just cleaning this paste off. If you haven't got the non-slip, non-stick mats, and you want to have a go at this kind of project, they'll be invaluable, because I've just wiped all that paste off there and it's just come off like a dream. And that's what you want. You don't want to be scraping paste off. Right, so what we're going to do to finish these off, so I've got my 2 keys, and the 2 keys I did with the paints. So the same 2 colours paints, the hot pink and the burnt orange. There's a bit of a delay on my screen, so I'm just going to wait for it to catch up. So these were literally just, I did a base coat of the pink and then I just stippled some of the orange on. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do some gesso on this. So I need to get another brush, because I just want to tone it back a little bit. In fact, I'm going to do it with my finger. I bet you can't believe I'm doing this, can you? Let me get a drink. Oops. Ilona's asking if you do it. Yeah, I am. Hi, Tracy. Not to worry. Is Sylvia watching, Rose? I've not seen Sylvia pop up yet. So I'm going to take some gesso and I'm going to use my finger for this, which I know you can't quite believe. So I'm going to take some extra out. That's way too much, because I don't want to be dipping my brush in there. We are going to be splatting in a second. Let's see if I can bring this in so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you can just see that. So I've literally just got some on my mat. I'm going to take the excess off, and I'm just going to stipple around here. And I've done my finger rather than a brush, because I don't want the lines from the brush. So this will knock the colour back a little bit and give us a lovely shabby look. You might not see me for a week now because my fingers are dirty. Oh, this looks amazing. It looks fabulous. Oh, let me show you, look, side by side. Remember, I'm only sticking my finger in this because I know it'll wash off. Yeah, so this is the before and the after. It looks amazing. You all know I love gesso anyway. So I'm just going to quickly do the same with the rest. Remember, gesso dries translucent as well, so if you feel like you've put too much on, you can always leave it to dry and then add some more colour over the top. You can also mix gesso. So for example, the orange paint, where have I put it? So the burnt orange paint, if I actually mix some of that with gesso, I could turn that into a lovely peach colour. So every one of the paints you can tone down with gesso. You're right, Bridget. Well, you're absolutely right. So I think that'll do for that. And I'm going to do the same with the heart and the keys. So I'm just knocking that back a little bit. I'm going to leave the cogs actually, because I think I like them like that. I think I'm going to leave the cogs, because I like the cogs crunchy. And it's really difficult for me to show you that on screen, but if I get that as close as I can, you can actually see that we've got a crunchy texture going on. Isn't that fabulous? Right, so I'm going to clean my finger. I'm quite enjoying this. It's nice to change. You talking about YouTube, Jean? You know I'm useless at technology, and as if by magic, Look. Right, so we are making headway. We are making headway. So just pop them to one side, because we're going to do a bit of splatting next. So I had already done my daisies ahead of the show, because you don't want to be watching me shaping loads of daisies. But what I was going to do on the show, so these daisies were created with the delicate daisies, which are the plain ones, the plain ones, so so that when I do the splatting in a second, it makes it more decorative than actually having the decorative lines from the debossing already on there. So it's the cotton candy pearls, wherever I've put them, cotton candy ombre pearls, and we're going to splat these, but I am just going to get a box because I don't want to do it on my desk, so just bear with me a sec. Wait till I show you where this box is from. You'll love it. So what I recommend for this kind of thing, because obviously I'm going to do everything in one go, I've got a shallow box, and it's from that's all I'm saying. Enough said. So I'm going to pop all this in my box. So the daisies are going in the box. And I'm also going to, except for the keys, I'm putting all the cogs and the locks and everything in as well. So I'm doing it all in one go. And hopefully I won't get this on the carpet. I'm going to pop this in as well. I'm going to pop that in as well, so we may as well have some splats on that at the same time. So we're going to do gesso splats, and you've seen me do this 100 times. Just make sure my brush is clean. It is, Denise. I love my velvetizer. I sent Julia a photo last night because we've just bought some of the lattes. So if anybody doesn't know what they are, the Hotel Chocolate Velvetizer is the one that does your hot chocolate and everything. But it also does the lattes. They've got coffee sachets now. So I'm going to put quite a bit of this on my mat here, because I've got quite a few things that I want to splat. So I've just popped that on the side. We're going to give it a squirt with the fine spray mister bottle. And I don't know whether any of you got these. They were on the show. They are on the website. And these are really, really fine. It's a really fine mist, but it's also quite wide, which I like. So when you're doing larger areas, you don't need to do as much. So I've just squirted it with the water. I'm just going to splat everything that's in that box. Oops, that didn't help Phil, did it? I'll bring them out and show you once I've finished them all. Nearly done. So I'm not using any coloured paint on these splats. I'm literally just using the gesso. And it doesn't matter whether you've got a splatter brush like this or not. You can actually do it with an old toothbrush, you can do it with an old water brush, or any kind of paintbrush. I've got one of those, does the same thing, 20 quid from Aldi. You're funny. I'm laughing at Bev. I'm glad you got the 20 quid version from Aldi, Bev, because it's more to spend in the shop. No, sir, if I get chocolate on my fingers, I just lick it off. Oh, hi, Sylvia, darling, I didn't know you were there. I hope you're alright. Right, so I'm just about done. I just want to get a little bit more on the lock. Last one, and then I'm stopping. I'll tell you what though, the only problem with that velvetizer is they're a bit addictive. Right, so that's enough splats done. I'm not wasting chocolate on my finger, I get licked off. Put my lid on my Mr. bottle. Well, I quite enjoy having a play. Hopefully you're learning stuff at the same time. So keep sharing the live for me, everybody. I need everybody to see it. So here we go. Don't post it in other people's Facebook groups though, unless they let you do that, because I don't let people do that in mine. Right, so let's bring these out and I can show you what they look like now. So remember when we were just doing when I was doing when I did the keys, I didn't add any water to the gesso. And I told you that gesso is translucent, so when you add water to it, it becomes kind of like a whitewash. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in a second. It's an absolute must-have product. Whether you do mixed media or not, card making, gesso is just a must-have these days. I might have missed that little one. And I'll save my box. Right, so you can now see that everything has been splattered within an inch of its life. So, just a reminder. Doesn't chocolate give you a migraine? Funnily enough, Chrissy, it doesn't. Chris is just asking me if chocolate gives me a migraine. I know it does Julia, but it doesn't me, which is bizarre. So, please remember to like and share. And remember, oh, I'm glad you're alright, Sylvia. Seems like ages since I saw you all. Right, so we are making headway now, so we are getting somewhere. Oh, I forgot to splat I forgot to splat my canvas. I'll leave it, I won't do it, I'll leave that as it is. So I'm now just going to move all this, so can you see? Oh, bugger. I did that quite watery. And what happens is when that dries, it will look like a milky splat rather than pure white, which is exactly what I wanted. Look how fab the daisies look. Aren't they gorgeous, just with that little bit of texture on? So I'm going to move the whole thing and we're going to come to the sentiments while that's drying. So because this is going to be for Rose's birthday now, I'm going to do the ticket tape. Happy birthday. So the ticket tape tastic sentiment stamps. I'm not sure whether any of these are in stock. So if you haven't got the essential ticket tape, so the essentials, yeah, I would get on the website pretty sharpish. Thanks, Linda. I would get on the website pretty sharpish and get them ordered, because these will definitely not be back. I've reordered them twice for people, and I won't be reordering them again. So let's just wipe that mess up. So I've got a bit of scrap cardstock here, and we're going to do 2 little sentiments on here for Rose. Where's my big scissors? There they are. This is obviously just scrap from when I've been die cutting. Let me show you this now, look. So that is actually the one that we did earlier, where we just used the waste paste, and we've got that lovely pearlescent sheen now from the pale pink. Easy ways to just add texture. Now, it's funny because cheese, I love cheese. Cheese doesn't give me a migraine, and neither does chocolate, and neither does coffee, funnily enough. Mine tends to be triggered more from, well, exhaustion, from being tired, and the lights at the studio also give me, I have Sylvia, the lights at the studio also give me migraines, which is why I quite often have a migraine after I've been on TV. So what we're going to do for this is 2 different sentiments at the same time. And we will have let's have a look. Well, we'll definitely need Happy Birthday. Happy birthday, birthday girl. No. Happy birthday for someone special. I think that's what they have. So happy birthday for someone special. Now normally when I use the ticket tape sentiments, I would use the Versamark pad, and I would use the coloured embossing powder. So I'm going to give you a little tip here. Gluten-free 4 years ago, and I've not had a migraine since. Do you know what, Bridget? I think that's been on the cards for me as well. Isabel's watching. What did I say, Chrissy? So we're going to do Happy Birthday in the picked raspberry, and we are also going to emboss over the top of this with the fabulous fuchsia. So we're doing Happy Birthday in picked raspberry, and we're doing For Someone Special in carved pumpkin. So if you were thinking about an orange colour and the Distress Oxides to go for, I know everybody seems to favour a spiced marmalade, but I love carved pumpkin. It's like a proper bright orange. So I'm not bothered whether this is patchy or not, because I'm going to emboss over the top of it. And the reason I'm using colour underneath and coloured embossing powder is to get a depth of colour. So we'll get a stronger finish from the embossing powder because we've got the coloured ink underneath. Yeah, that's fine. I love the ticket tape sentiments. I don't think they're ever going to date. So do 2 different embossing powders. I'll do a pink one first. So this is the Fabulous Fuchsia embossing powder. And that's going straight over there. That wasn't me, by the way. I think that was a motorbike. Just so we're clear. So that's Fabulous Fuchsia. And now we're going to do the Mandarin Burst, which is one of my favourite embossing powder colours. It's a proper orange. Let me just show you that, everybody. That's fabulous. So if you've not used your embossing powders for a while and you've got some like chunky bits, don't panic. It's just because there's so much embossing powder in the pot, it's been compacted. So just give it a good shake before you use it. Right, let's get these heated up. And hopefully things are drying as we're doing these parts. So you see, that was definitely a motorbike driving past. So just a quick reminder, everybody, if you're watching on Phill Martin, on the Phill Martin page, I can't see the comments. For some reason it doesn't allow me to see comments from two different places. So I always tell people to watch on the Sentimentally Yours page, and then I can see your comments. I will read them later, so don't panic, but it's just so you know, in case you think I'm not answering you. I'm going to do this from underneath. I'm not, because I've got bored with that. I think my eyes are getting bad. There we go. So I'm just going to show you this because it shows you. So we've now got a deeper pink because we've got the coloured ink pad underneath, and we've got a deeper orange because we've got the coloured orange ink pad from underneath as well. So I'm just going to cut these out. Actually, I'll leave a little white. I'll leave a little white edge, just so they stand out more from the canvas board. The canvas boards are also on the website. They are indigo blue canvas boards, because you know I love Kay and Alfie. So I'm just chopping these out. That's one. Oops, and that's two. So we've now created our own sentiments for Rose. If I would have had the time, I would have put your name on it, but I will write on the back of it for your Rose. So let's just show you where we're at, look. So now this all looks a little bit OTT. So we're going to start softening that up a little bit. So remember, right at the very beginning, when we were looking through all the dies, I said to you that I was using the wire and the grid. So this is the wire one, and this is exactly what I had in my mind when I designed them. So to be able to have a lovely textured die, this is the wire, which is quite intricate, and I've literally just torn that. So I've torn it on an angle, so I've got two different corners. So just so I can explain to you what is going on in my head, this is going on foam tape, which surprises you, I know. Divorce courts on Mondays, unplug the blue knit. So this is going on foam tape. and so is the other one when it's dry. So we've now got a flat board, and we're going to start adding the dimension and all the embellishments to this. So we've got a flat, and as soon as you add a frame look, it changes the whole look of this. Let me just see if the other one's dry. Oh, I've got my chair right around that rug. Yep, it's dry enough for us to work with. The gesso in that big splat's still a little bit wet, but we'll work around that. So we go in there. So you see that stamp from the cogs in the background. So that has now become integral to the background. This one is going here. So I need foam tape just around the bottom half. So let me just do that. See where else I need it. I think that's it, it's just up here. Yeah, perfect. So now this is where I love these texture dies. This was the whole point of these. This was the idea behind them. So this is now, I don't know whether to put it underneath or whether to have it on top. In fact, I'm going to have that on top, and I'm going to put the other one underneath. Well, I might have it on top as well. I'm having it on top. I'm doing a Julia, I'm doing it from the top. So let's just pop some glue on my mat. And I'll just pick that up. So I've purposefully left the textures, the dies, I've purposefully left those white. And I'm purposefully going over the edges, look, of the frames. So already we've softened the pink and the orange by adding the white. And I'm going to do the same on the bottom corner of this orange rectangle. And we'll come over the edge. Let me just show you the, I forgot to show you that. Teeth's just gone on edge. What did I do? Hi Helen, not to worry. Oh, Jean likes it underneath. Let me just show you how that pink has dried. Look on the orange cardstock. So we've got that beautiful metallic sheen in the glossy pink. Clear the mess up as we go. And let's start assembling this. Let's start assembling this. Come on, dry, swine. There we go. So I am going to use glue gel on these as well, because it'll give me a chance to lift this up and move it if I decide to change my mind. You can use your texture medium as an adhesive. I personally wouldn't, because I think it's a waste of a product when you've got other things that do it. So I wouldn't use my medium as an adhesive. Oh, these syringes. It's a good job I'm not going to swear. What they do. Let's go up here with this. Oh, I thought we'd done well with the emergency services. Let's make sure that's straight-ish. Same with this one. Oh, these. I'm going to swear in a minute. Not at you, at the syringes. Just trying to get to the edge of where the foam tape is here. I'm not bothered about that. Right, so here we go. Let's see if everything's dried. Let's bring it all back in and make this look pretty. If somebody wants to come and unbung this syringe for me, I'd be very grateful. So they're all just about dry. I would normally leave everything to dry naturally before I start sticking things together. So these are not quite dry because you can still see some pink on there, but they are getting there. Let me show you that. Look at that amazing texture. Remember as well at that stage, it's nearly dry now, but when it was still wet, you can put your glitter and everything on there. Oh, they're all just about dry, look. So you've got that beautiful metallic sheen, pearlescent sheen, and we've got the texture from the paste, from the medium. Throw it in the bin. What, the syringe? Problem is I do that every time I go to open one, use one. So, where's my picture? So here's my picture that I printed of where I want everything to go, just because it saves me a bit of time. And we shall start the assembly. I need some twine. 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 Right, get ready for the swear words when I start using this syringe again. Chrissy, I don't know where they are. I am going to put some tape under this, but I have got about 50 that I stole from the shop. But I don't know where they are. I've obviously put them somewhere safe, or I've left them at the shop. I was at the shop yesterday and I didn't borrow anything. Right, so here we go. Let's get this all in shot now so you can see where we're going with this. What, you mean this? Looks fab, doesn't it? Oh, who'd have thought that was greyboard? Wouldn't you think it was an enamel embellishment? Aren't they fab? So I haven't splattered any gesso or anything on there, but I am going to stipple some on, but I'm leaving it to the very end. So the longer I can leave that to dry, the better. So I'm trying to leave those to the last part. So we'll put the flowers on first, and they're still not quite dry. Can you see that that's still a little bit wet in the middle? But we should get away with it. Chris has just said, "Where's ta feeling very well because I didn't steal anything." Right, I am losing my patience with this. So where are we? So you know I like glue gel, unless it does that to you, trying to squeeze it out. In fact, you know what? I'm going to get a new one. Oh. Forget that, I've just found one that's half open. I'll use it direct from the tube. Save wrecking my hand. We've got to put a little charm on now. So we're going to use one of these keys, this one. And I'm going to dangle it from here before I put the next flower on, so the twine is hidden underneath. Tweezers. So just let the glue grab. And then the next flower. Oh, it's much easier doing it straight from the tube. Oh, do you know what? I should do that, Jean. It'll probably save my hand as well. And then we've got a couple of fronds. And again, because we've got so much pink and orange going on, I've purposefully kept the fronds clear. Oh, I can't put them on yet. I need to do the next bit first. It's alright, I'm moving to another job. I'm going to have to do this now. These are still a little bit tacky. But we don't want to be watching paste dry for 20 minutes, do we? So let's get the gesso. And this time I am going to use my lovely brush, and I'm going to stipple around the edges of these. Just to take some of the harsh edges off. Remember, the gesso will dry more translucent. Just a few bits on here. Now you know why I love these brushes. They're not the cheapest, but they are fabulous. I'm just wetting the end. All I'm doing, just so you know what I'm doing, I've got one of my wipes, and I'm just taking the excess out of the bristles, because I don't want to shove this one in a water bowl. That's it, look. Right, here we go. Swap sides. Get my flourish on. We've heard your motorbike. And then a couple of plain, no glitter. I'm just leaving these plain white. And the next two flowers are going here. And we've got the same thing going on again. I forgot my doodah. Hang on. I will get this finished. We are on the last leg. So the only problem with using the glue gel straight from the tube is you can't be as neat as you would normally be. So what I tend to do with the bits that end up being here, yeah, I don't like using texture medium as a glue. Waste of money. Use your man. Says me who doesn't pay for any of it. Well, I suppose I do really. I just like to kid myself that it's not cost me anything. Right. Key, next key. So another bit of twine. This one needs to be shorter. So the other key now. Glue gel isn't cheap. It is when you rob it out your shop. Or when you come home from doing a workshop and you've got six tubes of glue gel for free. So we're just on the assembly now. And getting this all put together. And then we've got the cogs. So I've purposefully left the cogs till later, so that we can tuck them in areas that we think need a bit of extra. Rose. Oh, I've got it on here. I think if you buy in bulk, works out not too bad. It's the same price as the texture medium. I suppose it is actually. I suppose it is. In fact, you know what, Julia? Thinking about it, it's probably cheaper for me to use the texture medium than it is the glue gel. So let's get the last two flowers on, and then we'll get Rose's sentiments on. Oops, oh, I nearly forgot. Got the heart locket. We've got the little heart locket, I nearly forgot that. Oh, yeah. Julia's using it to fill the cracks in on a shower. I suppose you can. if it works. Cheers, Jean. Oops. Julia is always right in the end. I've known her long enough to know that she's usually right. Right, so get this finished off and then we can start titivating. So I've purposefully done the keys and the charms look so that you have a bit of movement on this. It's just something, it's just extra. Right, so where we're going to go with this, so we'll go happy birthday for someone special. Yeah, that works for me. Come on, flowers, behave. Happy birthday. Just making sure it's straight, yeah. For someone special. You just got to bear with me while I'm faffing. Happy birthday for someone special. Yeah, so I'll give you a few tips for dealing with glue gel when we come back to finish this off. So I'm just going to tuck the bigger locket. So there are two different sizes of these. So I'm just going to tuck the bigger locket underneath. So the key is behind. Fabulous. We are getting there. How long have I been? Hey, that's not bad. We've done all that in an hour and a half. So this has actually taken me about the same time as a card would. If not a bit quicker. Right, so I was going to have that there, but I can't now because of the sentiment, so let's have it there. Just as a little tip for you all, the photo, I always tend to do, when I'm doing something like this, I always tend to do a little, like a rough layout, a dry layout if you like. And then I took a photo, which is this, look. So I took the photograph and then printed it, just so it gives me a rough idea of where things are going to go, look. Because sometimes you can get a little bit lost. How are you going to hang it up? Now, well, you can hang it up because you can put little tacks at the back with string, or you can put it on a stand. So can you remember when I did the blue and brown one a few months ago? That's actually on a stand in the shop in Sheffield. So it's just on one of those little plate stands. So gears first. So let's get some of these cogs on. Oh, I forgot the other. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this at the end. Let's just get some of these gears on. keeping the small ones to go on top of the butterflies. And I'm going to show you what I do with when you've got glue gel, because this kind of thing here, look, so when you've got glue gel and it seeps a little bit, that kind of thing, it bugs me. So I tend to stick everything on, and then that will glitter that with Diamond Dazzle, so it becomes less of a looking like a mess, and it becomes prettier. So this is one of the large cogs. I'm just going to snip that. Oops, got stuck on my shirt. This is the fun part. So obviously it's fun when you're creating all your embellishments and everything, but I like the assembly part as well. I'm going to go at the top actually with this, because that will be just underneath the butterfly. Nearly there, nearly there. What's command strips? I don't know what a command strip is. Right, butterflies next, and then we'll decide where the last cog is going. So the big butterfly is going top corner. Oh, wrong glue. Top corner. Oh, thank you, Paula. I'm not normally this messy. This is just something I wanted to do that's incorporating the new paints and the new luster powders and the greyboard and everything. Oh, I don't know whether I want it there now. No, stick to your plan, Phil. Stick to your plan. And then the smallest one is going at the top. Right, so we're almost there. Almost there. I'm looking to see if there's a gap, and there is. Well, it's clear to see I would never have got this done on a 1 hour show on the telly. It would never happen. So last bit, we're on the last few bits. And then we're going to glitter. I don't actually know whether I want a cog on the butterfly now. No, I did on the original look. So on the original I had on my plan, I had a small cog on the butterfly wings, but I don't think I want that now. Right, so let's get finished off. So this is the grid dye. Oh, let me just have a drink. I forgot about it again. Oh my word, it's still roasting. So we're now just going to tuck some of these little bits of the grid texture, and I'm going to kind of use it a bit like a foliage, only a bit rougher. So I'm just going to tear some bits, and we're just going to stick it. I'm using the bits that I've got the pink paste on. And we're just going to stick this in between some of the foliage bits. Oh, I love that look, because you just wouldn't be able to do that normally. So it's very grungy, but it will still be pretty. So let's get these last bits on. And then we'll put glitter. We'll put glitter where the glue gel is. It's peeking through. Where was I going to put that? Oh. Nearly done. I'm on the last few bits. So you see where the glue gel is? That'll look pretty in a minute. I'm faffing, but I'm loving it. I think I'm going to stop there. And we're just going to do the last bit of glitter. Just create some space for myself. I'm going to save these bits as well. So we're now going to finish this off with a few pearls. So these are the cotton candy pearls. I'm covered in glue gel. So I'm just going to do some random ones. And if I'm being 100% honest with you, if I was doing this for myself, and not on a Facebook Live, I would absolutely be using some of the Finnabair little art stones. So to use the little art stones, you just use your glue gel or your texture medium, mix them in, sprinkle them on, and then when it's dry you can paint them. But obviously we've not got that kind of time today. So I'm just going to pop some, I'll do a couple at a time. so I don't get lost with them all. I've got glue gel on my tweezers. I've got my bloody pickup tools. I don't know why I'm messing about with a pair of tweezers. It's not helping because my fingers are greasy with glue gel. Which is quite funny. I forgot where I put the glue. I'm sure there's another one somewhere. Yeah, I found it. Let me just have a quick look before I decide if it needs any more, and it doesn't. So now, are you ready for this? Can you see what I'm doing here? I've got glue going on my mat. This is normal white glue. This is my normal PVA glue. Fingers going in it. I'm just going around the edge of the... You don't really need to do this, but I like to do it. I like to frame my canvases with Diamond Dazzle. It will be fabulous in a minute. And Rose, I know you're still watching, so you know you're getting this for your birthday. I'm in the shop in Sheffield on Wednesday for my workshop. So I'll take it up and get Karen or one of the girls to post it for you. Last bit. I've lost it. Finger gluing. Finger gluing. Well, you all know that we've got the brush glue. We've got the glue with the brush adhesive. But that would be too much for this. I literally want a sprinkling of the Diamond Dazzle around the edges, which is why I've done it with my finger. I do quite like peeling the glue off my finger, if I'm honest with you. But I won't do that today. I think we've just coined a new phrase, finger gluing. We'll have that. We'll keep that just for us. So when I say I'm finger gluing on TV, you know I'm talking to you lot. Oh, that's brilliant. See, I was right. I knew you'd give me a giggle and I knew you'd give me a laugh. And Josephine knew I would be glittering it, and you're absolutely right. So here we go. So all the bits that had the glue gel peeking through are now going to be pretty with Diamond Dazzle. And the whole thing will have a lovely glittery rim. So don't be scared. Now the reason I've done this is because, you know, I don't like to see the glue gel once it's dried because it just looks shiny and it makes it look a bit nasty. So if you make it a feature rather than worrying about it being showing, if you make it a feature, a glittery feature, it looks like you're meant to do it. So the last bit Hang on, that's dried. That's dried too quickly. Let's just make sure I've not missed any bits. Glittered, 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 glittered. The cogs. Glittered. Yeah, that's it. I bet you don't know where I'm going after this, do you? Straight in the shower to get the glue and everything off my hands. Put the lid on. You ready? So we've gone from, if I can find one. We've gone from one of these, so a bare canvas panel, and you know where I've got this from. I nicked it from the shop. So we've gone from that to there. I'm trying to get it all in the shot. Let me just do a close-up for you and I'll take it from the top to the bottom. So all them bits, look, like behind the gears, can you see behind the cogs? It's just now pretty with diamond dazzle. So it looks like we meant for it to be like that rather than actually using too much glue. Is that not just beautiful? And I love bright pink and bright orange together. I can only just get it in the screen. It is an A4. It is an A4 size. It's not bigger than A4. So there you go. I'm just going to have a drink of my coffee. I just wanted to show you how. I mean, I love the pink and orange together anyway. You've seen me make cards in bright pink and bright orange. So I love the fact that you can take something that is a little bit different. So this is for our Rose's 85th birthday. And I will make sure this gets posted to you next week, Rose. And we've incorporated lots of the new products on this canvas board. So we've got the keys, the locks and keys dies. We've got the butterfly greyboard, the daisies, the gesso, the radiant luster powders, ticket tape-tastic sentiment stamps, the cogs, lots of cogs, the stencils, the paints, and there we go. I'll try and take a proper photo once I've had a shower and I'll pop it on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. So, little quick reminder for everybody, please make sure you've liked and you are following the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. You can ask to join our little private crafters group by searching for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. You do have to accept the rules when you ask to join. It's not an open public group like most of them are, which is why we always have a lovely, friendly, inspirational bunch of crafters in there. And I'm really strict on that. You can also search for me on YouTube under the same name, Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. And you can also look for Julia Watts on Facebook and on YouTube. So Julia Watts Crafts, and follow us both there. As soon as Julia and I get to 1,000 followers, we are going to be doing YouTube lives as well. So the sooner we do that, the sooner we start that. I am also going to give you, hopefully if we get to 1,000 before this date, I'm going to give you a sneaky peek and a demo, and maybe I might be launching it on YouTube, the next magazine box kit, which is due pretty soon. So you've been forewarned. Online workshop data haven't sorted yet, Michelle, but it will be either the end of March or beginning of April. I'll try and sort that out this weekend. Thanks, Bev. back on TV unless I change my mind on the 21st of March with the box kit, but I might change my mind, so I will keep you all up to date. Thank you for today, everybody. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and do you know what? I needed it. It's been a rough couple of weeks, so I really appreciate you staying with me all that time, and for the giggles, because I'm sure I'm going to get a few giggles when I read back through the messages. As a reminder for everybody watching me on the Phill Martin Facebook page, I can't see the comments from that page, so you do need to like and follow Sentimentally Yours and watch the videos from there, and then I do see the comments in live real time. So thank you, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. I'll just do a little slow close-up for you, but I will take a photograph after I've had a shower. So thank you again, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe. Get on the website, and anything that I haven't got in stock, remember to check Julia's website, because she might have some as well. So have a lovely weekend. Happy birthday to Rose, everybody. Rose is 85 today, and I will get this posted to you next week, Rose, and sign the back of it for you. So stay safe, everybody. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye.